All right, we are back. This is Creativity is the Cure. I am your host, Malcolm Moore, and today I've got my good friend, King Roublow. How you doing today, King?
Going on, man? Feeling good, man. How about you?
I'm good. Where are you speaking to us from today?
My room where all the magic happens. LA.
LA. Yep, I'm about an hour away from King. I live in Palmdale, California, but it mostly takes me about 50 minutes to get there. The way that King and I know each other is I was lucky enough to I'm still teaching at his school, Champs School of the Arts in Van Nuys, which is maybe the coolest school I have ever worked at. I love the staff, the students, just really good vibe there, right?
Yep.
How long you been going to school there?
All 4 years of high school.
Okay, and you're in 12th grade now?
Yes, sir.
In my opinion, King is one of the most artistically talented students in the school and one of the finest drummers. So let's start out there. How did you get started playing drums?
My mom just always had me in stuff like when I was younger, but music has always been like something that I've always been like connected to. Cause I used to play basketball like full time. Like I wanted to be a basketball player, but then like once the pandemic hit, I just made that switch from like, all right, I'm gonna make music. And then eventually I was always in drum classes, and I guess even when I was little, like I used to beat on like pots and pans and set them up and pretend they were drums.
Me
And,
too.
like yeah, my granny used to take me to this I don't know what if they have it anymore. I forgot what it's called. It's like where it was Tom drums, like a for like toddlers. It was like a remote thing. It
Okay.
was hella fun. So I used to always just be connected with some type of percussions, no matter what it was.
I got my first drum set. I had a paper route. I don't know if you know what that is, but back in the day, we had to deliver newspapers, and I saved up enough money to get my first drum set. How did you get your first drum set?
My first drum set was I think it was a while ago. Like it was probably like like when I was like 4 or 5 years old. Yeah, it was a baby one. It was super dope. Honestly, I think my mom still has it somewhere in storage. So like
It
it
was
was,
one
I think it was, I think it was a Remo. I'm not too sure.
one of those little drum sets, right?
Yeah, and then you have to put the triangle, the square, so that when you read the sheet music, it was like, it was like okay, so triangle. It would be like the triangle's a hi hat, the snares. It was really dope. I wish I could still read sheet music like that to this day.
I still teach private drums, and whenever I meet like a really young kid, the problem is if it's a normal size drum set, their feet can't reach the pedals, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, and then you have to get like a smaller one like that. And what do you have now? You have like a Tama. I really like
Yes, it's a Tama
Tama. And what kind of cymbals do you like to play?
classic, 16 crash and vinyl, and then a 20 ride.
One thing that I like about your drumming, right when I met you, we were in like a jazz band, and you played everything from Drowning Pool Bodies to what else we were doing? The Chicken by Pee Wee Ellis. We're doing Herbie Hancock. You're a very diverse drummer. You seem comfortable going back and forth with all different kind of styles. Where did you get that super open mind from?
Honestly, my mom,
Yeah.
she like always says, be able to do everything and everything you do, be able to be the best at everything. So like, okay, let's say okay, it's one rock drummer and he's good at everything, but then when it comes to jazz, he's not good, so he can only book that type of gig.
Yeah.
So that limits you. I just don't want to have any limitations when it comes to like just anything in general. And I've always just been like a learner first. Like anything I can get my hands on, I want to learn it and be the best at it. Like I honestly feel that as good as I am as something, I should be just as good as another thing when it comes to that. But it's always my mom. Like she's always like, okay, King, like don't just be good at this. Try and get good at this as well. And the more you're good at something, it's just a great look, especially like so.
Yeah, one thing I like about your drumming is you leave a lot of space, which is important. You don't tend to overplay, you go more for the groove. And on top of that, you kind of have, what would I say, like an abstract way of drumming. You make me think of this great jazz drummer. I don't know if you heard of him. His name was Elvin Jones. And
You mentioned it to me a couple times. I remember you
yeah,
telling me.
you do these really cool, unexpected things. And I remember you and I look at each other, just start laughing. And I'm just like, you really went there.
Yeah. And that's the point. Like, I just want to, because like when it comes to drums,
Yeah.
I want it to be like, okay. you know what's gonna come next. I don't want no one to ever know what's coming next when it comes to drumming. Like I
Yeah.
want to keep the craft engaged even in rehearsals because you got to practice what you're gonna do in the show in rehearsals. So
Yeah. I know that you're into producing lately, and before we get deep into that, how do you feel about like programmed drums versus playing drums acoustically, like in person?
it's crazy to think that me playing drums acoustically in person helps me program my drums. So I'm a big fan, but at the same time, I can see why somebody's like, "Oh no, that's not real music."
Right.
Because the computer does everything for you. So I'm on both sides. I'm not really like, hey, it works. Just evolve because technology is gonna evolve more and more every day. So if you can evolve with it and stay relevant.
Yeah, and that's a good point. And when I was your age, it was like the advent of drum machines, and that was the beginning of people programming drums. And you could always tell when it wasn't a drummer programming it because there's like a fill going and the hi-hat's still going. And you and I know that doesn't happen easily, right?
That doesn't happen easily at all.
I wanted to ask about this too. Like I compose my own music at home and I can program and I can play live, but what I've been into recently is playing my Roland V drums into a loop machine. It's kind of like programming, but it still leaves the feel of the live drummer. Have you ever done a recording and tried to combine your programming with your live drumming?
Yeah, I did it one time when I was in New York. So what we did was they had me play like a field, then we separate. I had somebody record it because I couldn't record at the same time. It was such a big studio.
Yeah,
We recorded it, we set up the mics, all that. Then we just separated everything into like stems almost, if that
right.
makes sense. So then those stems, like the hi-hat, the open hat, the kick, double kick, a snare, crash, cymbal, floor tom, all that into separate buttons or separate like hits, so that it was just like, oh, okay, boom, perfect. And then we made a really nice like Malcolm Todd type of beat. It was pretty dope. So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really when it comes to that whole thing in general. I'm not a hater. The only thing I hate when it comes to music is when people use AI. That irritates me.
it's inevitable, but yeah, I know what you mean. It really does, for lack of a better term, take the human element out. But what I like about what you just told me is it sounds like you had many layers of textures, by mixing all that stuff together. Would that be true?
Yes.
When you graduate this year, what do you plan to do with your life, at least musically? Are you interested in getting into production at another level?
For sure. That's what I definitely plan on going to college for because I'm in the process. Well, I'm not I'm in well kind of still in the process. I'm just waiting to hear back from colleges.
Yeah,
But I've applied for mainly recorded music, music production because I'm nice, but I just know that I could probably apply for live music or music like percussion or whatever.
right.
But I'd rather apply for music composition because that can further my skills in production where I feel like it needs help because I think that my production is slightly worse than my actual live drumming, being that I've been doing drumming for since I was before I was conscious almost.
Yeah. So do you see yourself like running your own studio, producing other people, playing on people's albums, or maybe a little bit of everything?
I do both already, but I just want to take it to like. But what I want to do is like people never give producers or like drummers
Yeah.
their credit enough. I feel like because without the drummer or the producer, there would be no song. The bass, because everybody knows the drummer and the bass, most important people in a song. But when it comes to, I feel like no one. It's oh, the artist is so good. Okay, but yo, who's doing all the work for the artist to sound that good? The
Yeah. And
producer.
who's helping them execute their vision, right?
Exactly. So that's where I want to like, and I also want to compose for like video games, movies, soundtracks, like not just like for artists, just for like maybe like even fashion shows. That's like a big goal I want to do.
Yeah.
And I DJ a little bit too, so I have a whole vision.
So one of my favorite drummers is this guy named Steve Jordan, and a lot of people have seen him before because he currently plays for the Rolling Stones. He played with John Mayer, he played with jazz guys, Steve Kahn and stuff like that. But one thing that I found out later on when I got into his music is when he worked with John Mayer, he not only played all the drum tracks, he produced the album. He also did that with Keith Richards.
Mm.
So I can actually see you, King, someone hires you, like a Kendrick Lamar or whatever, somebody you like, and you come in and you play the drums, but you help produce the album, would you be interested in something like that?
For sure. All the way.
I saw this quote by Kendrick Lamar the other day, and he said, people have to go through trials and tribulations to get where they're at. Do your thing. Continue to rock it because obviously God wants you here.
I like that quote a lot, honestly, because one, I'm very close to God. I keep God with me at all times. I'm very religious. And that's dope. That's also like kind of similar to a quote that Pharrell said that I can't quote word for word, bar for bar. But basically, to summarize what he said was never stop creating, keep going, because right now it may not be your turn, but eventually it's going to hit. Like, if you're really dedicated to this and you do it for the pure love of it, it's going to hit whether you like it or not.
Yeah, like be ready for the moment, right?
Exactly. That's why every day I keep going, even days I don't want to go to school and rehearse. I keep
Yeah.
going. There were so many practices that you were there for that I was like, oh, don't want to do this, but I'm like, you know what? It's worth it. It's all worth it, you know? Like, so I actually like that quote a lot. So
Yeah.
that really, that's why that relates to me a lot. Like, wow.
Whenever I play with my band, I always think that like rehearsals, push it as far as you can and try anything, even if you mess up. But then for the performance, dial it back because you know what works. But, when you're in a rehearsal, whether it's me with my band or you at school, you can just try stuff, even if it doesn't work. And that's how you discover like the coolest stuff.
Exactly. And that's always what I did. So, like, those practices for before bodies,
Yeah.
for bodies that we did, like
Yeah.
prior, I was just trying stuff, rehearsal. If I messed up, I messed up. It's practice. No one else is going to know I messed up in practice. All they're going to see is the show, and that's all they know.
Yeah.
So.
And then you killed it at performance. I was there. That was great.
Yeah, that was top 5 performances for me.
You said that spirituality is really important to you. What role do you think that creativity has in being a spiritual person?
What role when it comes to creativity? I think it was just for me. I believe in Jesus Christ, so I think God just put creativity inside of me.
Yeah.
Knowing who I'm going to be, He puts creativity inside of everybody.
Yeah.
Because everybody has to unlock it, and I was lucky to unlock it at a very young age.
Right.
But I think it plays a very important role because God is kind of like feeding you ideas every day, like because God has a plan for you. So that's where I feel like okay, God definitely plays a role in everything, like
Right.
creativity, your thoughts, all that. So
it's like
I think
it's like you're saying that God is the source of your creativity.
yes, exactly. Because at the end of the day, He woke me up to be able to have that creativity. So it all goes back to Him. That's how I feel.
Do you get to play drums at church?
No, not yet. I really, really want to though. I really want to, but I've been so busy recently. I haven't been able to go to. I've been able to go to my church, but I haven't been able to catch my pastor and ask him, "Hey, is it okay if maybe think one day I can play drums for you?" Like, but I know it's also a different beast like that. Playing drums for a church is, I'm already knowing, is probably different.
What type of music does your church do?
They do. Have you ever seen like Kirk Franklin? Like,
Yeah.
it's
I know.
like Kirk Franklin. It's kind of a mega church, but it's dope. It's still like a mega church, but it's still small. So it's like within the community. So it's very like they do. How would I describe it? Like all I know is the chops are crazy. Like I look at the drummers and I look how fast paced it is. Like even the piano player talking to everybody through the monitor and the what's called their ears.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. Like sometimes I forget about that where I'm at church. I think it's a concert and I'm just analyzing everybody.
Yeah, I don't think I ever shared this with you, but quite a while ago, for the better part of a decade, I was a minister, and when I first got into going to church, it was a gospel church in Philadelphia, and that's where I really got into the music of Kirk Franklin, and especially my favorite is a guy named Fred Hammond, and that type of music is really wild because to me, it's like blues or jazz. There's a lot of improvisation included.
So much improvisation. It's not even funny. I can
And
see it.
yeah, I love that they call it gospel chops. There's a certain way that a lot of gospel drummers play. To me, it's almost like this weird symmetrical thing of keeping your left hand on the left side and your right hand on the right side, and you're just kind of almost ambidextrous. And I also love in gospel music how they'll modulate out of nowhere.
Literally. I also love how like they'll just have hits out of nowhere. So it'll just be like you'll be vibing, then
Yeah.
but, or
Yeah.
like I remember I was playing with someone like I remember playing with someone like that, and they were in my ears. There was a gig I was doing, and out of nowhere he was like 5, 4, 3, 2. I was like, what? And it happened so quick, but it just happened. Like my body naturally did it, and I was like, wait,
Yeah,
what just happened?
you gotta be on your game. And
For sure. That's the most
I've
locked in I've ever
noticed
been.
over like the last 2 decades, a lot of hip hop artists, they would program their music in the studio, but live they get like a gospel type drummer. And I got to see Eminem and Rihanna at the Rose Bowl, years ago, and I thought when I went there it'd be all programmed and really boring, but they both had live bands, and it was so cool to see the interaction and get kind of a different vibe and a different feel.
No, that's different. I gotta read some more sheet music for that one. I gotta practice a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's cool to mix it all up, like you say. So a lot of times in school, I'll be like, "Where's King?" And I know I'm going to find you in the practice room working on some beats and some
Hmm.
production. What software do you use at this point?
Right now, I'm on FL Studio, but I can use I'm like I can use all of them, Pro Tools, Logic. I know how to use all of them. I have great and efficiently. I can't just like, oh, I could do a little bit. Like no, I can officially use all of them, but I'm most efficient in FL Studio right now, being that that's my main one that I use.
And do you use that on a PC or a Mac?
MacBook.
Nice. Yeah. And what's great is when you finally get the opportunity to go into a studio that has something like Pro Tools, you can drag from the software you use and import that into Pro Tools and then, give it a little bit of a deeper sound.
Yeah. Like you mean when I go to a studio, like what software am I looking forward to using? Like I'd rather use in a studio.
Well, for instance, the last time I made an album, at that point, I only had GarageBand and I did all the pre-production on my laptop with GarageBand, but we brought it into the studio and dumped it into Pro Tools and kind of beefed it up. And then we added the real instruments, into Pro Tools. So it just sounded better.
Yeah, that's what some people do. Like they'll get like okay, so because FL Studio is known for its drums,
Yeah.
but Logic has really good melodies that you can make. So they will just get the melody from there and then drag it into FL Studio and then get the drums and then put it all together in Logic or whatever.
Yeah, I like
Or
Logic a lot. And recently I've been really getting into Ableton. I like Ableton because it's very intuitive, almost like an Apple product. You don't really have to read a manual. It's very user friendly.
exactly, but not FL Studio. FL Studio, there's still things that I'm finding out to this day that I like. Wow, still shortcuts that I'm finding out that I can do. It's like infinite shortcuts, and then they're always updating it. It's
Yeah.
like a new update every month.
Yeah, I don't know if they do this, but I love in Ableton how I can just hover the mouse over something and then a little bubble up here and it'll tell me what it does.
Yeah, no, they don't do that at FL Studios. I wish they did. My life would be 10 times easier.
You'll get there. Let's go way, way, way back in time. What is your first creative memory?
My first creative thought was because my mom's a stylist, so she's always like just doing clothes. And I remember one day she was just sewing or something, and I asked her, I'm like, "Yo, what if you put a patch on this sweater?" And she did, and then she like it was like, but I don't know how to explain it. I just gave her an idea, and then she used it, and then it ended up being really dope. She
Yeah.
ended up like posting it. Everybody loved it, all of that. So
So what you're saying is down the line you may have your own clothing line.
for sure, no, for sure. Like I already have all the mock-ups ready in my journal.
I bet you
I just
do.
need them.
You got to show that
I
to me
do
next week. I'd love to see it.
for sure.
You obviously grew up in a creative environment, right? And how did that affect you?
It affected me like in a sense where I just always felt free. Like I never had nobody judging me. So it's just like okay, boom. I was always so then when I got to real world, I was like, wow, like people were like, "Oh, having thoughts," and I'm like, "That's basic." Well, I knew it was different for me when people will have a thought and they would think it's so genius, and I'll be like, "That's basic." But I was never saying nothing because I've
Yeah.
always just grew up into like just grow up outside the box. My mom always made me watch like Pharrell interviews, Kanye interviews,
Yeah.
just people like Nigo interviews, like stuff I didn't care about. But now I'm like, wow, I'm so glad I watched that because that really gave me a different point of view, like on everything. Like I see everything so much different from my peers and people that I grew up with. So I definitely think it definitely had like impact on me. Just even going to the kitchen to get a snack and I'm seeing her draw her journal some crazy design for a mock-up, or just seeing her like when she's styling people, she's putting she's styling like putting clothes on them that I would never thought would have went with what they had on,
Yeah.
but it looked so freaking cool. Like, whoa, you're talented, bro. So then that just eventually just grew into me when it came to my music, and then that had an effect on me. So when I'm producing, I think, how can I make this better without making it too much?
Right. I remember you asked me to film you for an audition, and I remember it went through many reiterations because your mom was like, "Nope, do it again. It can be better." It seems like she helped you develop like this need for excellence and going for the best of yourself. Would you agree with that?
No, for sure. Because I'm low key. I'm kind of lazy. I'm kind of lazy. I could be, but I could be a lot more lazy if it weren't for my mom. Like a lot more lazy. So
You have the potential to be a lot more lazy. I like that.
yeah. So I think that I could no you if anybody thinks I'm lazy now, bruh,
You got a lot to learn.
no really.
Well, tell me what it's like going to Champ School of the Arts. I got to tell you, I'm so blown away by the artistic opportunities there and all the talent I see in all of you guys.
Honestly, for me, it's kind of surreal being a senior now because I remember when I was a freshman and I was looking up to the seniors. If you think it's now, oh my God, you should have seen it when I was a freshman. Oh my
Yeah?
God.
What was it
It
like?
was so cool. It was like just it felt like college. Like how everybody in college, like just everybody's just super dope. Like I don't know if you went to college, but if you go to college campus, it's kind of like a college campus within a high school.
Yeah.
So it's just really dope seeing, and I'm like seeing all the people that have potential. Like, wow, like you're gonna be great one day. And I'm be able to like, I know they're gonna be able to say, yo, I went to school with him, but like one day I'm gonna be able to say like, yeah, I went to school with them. Like a lot of great artists, models, designers, all type of stuff that came out of Champ. So I'm just glad I could be a part of it. And can't believe it's my last year, so I'm just trying to take it all in. Just and they gave me. I feel like Champs honestly saved my life. Like,
I haven't seen everything that the school does, but the really fun performance I got to help you guys was called Beast Fest around Halloween. And I saw all the different departments of art that they have there. I know you've done music. Have you taken part in any of the other artistic classes while you've been there?
yeah, my mom definitely forced me to take the fashion design class when I
Okay.
was a freshman and sophomore. But I wasn't mad at it. I loved it. It was honestly a great class. I made these pants out of a pattern that had just musical notes on it, a pajama pant,
Yeah.
super dope stuff. And I didn't get the chance to do DMA or any other classes, but I was able to do like a lot of stuff. Like I took film studies. Even I helped act in one of the movies for the
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. I saw the movie.
yeah.
It's pretty
It's,
deep about a young man who gets himself into a little bit of trouble.
mhm.
Was that your first time acting?
No, I had acted like before when I was younger. My mom always had me, and I still act a little bit, but like and modeling, but not as much because I hate remembering lines. Like I do, I genuinely do. I can't
I
stand
love
no.
your brutal honesty.
I hate it. Like honestly, actors have the most respect for me,
Yeah,
honestly, because what? What do you mean? You remembered all these lines, and it's like then you have to improvise some days. I mean, it's all art, so like they probably say that about musicians. Like, how do you remember all that music?
yeah,
Like, but no, that's a different type of skill,
yeah.
honestly.
Different type of skill.
But it was very fun to shoot. We had a very good time. We had a party. It was actually a party, so we had a party between shots. It just felt like we were just hanging out. So it was pretty fun to do. I would do it honestly 10 times again. and it was just a really good time.
Yeah.
But Champs is definitely like if I have kids and Champs is still around for sure,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. It's
for
really
sure.
a wonderful environment. Let's talk about drummers. Can you tell me one drummer who has had a profound influence on you and why?
Mr. Bird, Jeffrey Bird, he's an
Yes.
alumni at Berkeley.
Yep.
That's my mentor. Dude, he has helped me not just with music, just like life lessons in general. Like
Yeah.
he always so when I was a freshman, funny story, I had just came in, I had a horrible eighth grade. Like before sophomore year, academically, I wasn't the best.
Yeah.
And just in life, like it was post pandemic, fresh out the pandemic, I wasn't mentally I wasn't like feeling it. But he saved me like every day I walked in class. As soon as I walked in, he said, I like your fit, man. 20 push-ups. I was like, what? This dude's crazy, man. I'm like, this dude crazy, man. So I'm like, all right, whatever. He like, your mom told me to tell you 20 push-ups, bro. Hey, bro. I'm like, what? Because I got there a little late. So then I'm like, all right, cool. Then I'm laughing. I'm like, all right, he never gonna do this again. He probably just joking for the one time. He really made me do the 20 push-ups.
Wow.
So every time, and then as like I went on, like I would cry like in his class, like because it would be something I can't. He would just push me to my limits. Like
Yeah.
he didn't care if I cried. Like he did not care, and that pushed me to want to be better. And every time I remember he had this one saying, and I still tease him to this day, like, bro, you used to be mean, bro. He's like, oh, I'm not that bad. He's like, look at you now though, aren't you happy? I'm like, bro, you could have. There's a couple words that you shouldn't have said to me, bro. Like,
Yeah.
but he said he wants to be like, anytime he'll give me homework and I wouldn't come back with it finished, he'd be like, oh, you're a fake musician.
Yeah.
And I don't know what about him saying that used to make me so livid. I used to go home and practice for hours and hours till I had it. So the next day I could throw in his face like, "Who's a fake musician?" Pow. And then I don't know why some. And then also when I finally did do good, I know I did good. He'll be like, "You did all right."
Now I got to meet him. I don't know if I told you this. I did a tour of your school like 2 years ago, and I know what you're talking about. I got to go sit in one of his classes. I wonder if you were even there. That's crazy. And I really liked his teaching style. And of course, I liked him because he was a drummer. And I loved how he had the classroom set up. Remember, he had like those rows of keyboards.
Exactly. No, exactly. It
Yeah.
was very squished, but it was nostalgic, honestly. Now
He,
it's nostalgic.
he was really fun. And I could tell that you guys were having a blast in there.
Yeah, even the new music teacher though, like he's not a drummer though, but he's a musician that I'm like, okay, I like him a lot. Like he's cool.
Yeah, he's
Even
totally different, but
very different
equally
piano player,
talented.
way more calm. He just,
Yeah.
but yeah, so that's probably someone I look up to when it comes to
And you're
drummer
talking
wise.
about Derek Morales, right?
Yes,
Do you think creativity could be implemented in curing people or at least helping people that struggle with things like depression or anxiety? So I'm asking you, working on your own music, listening to music, or looking at the effect music has on your friends at school, do you think it helps?
for sure. Music definitely heals.
Yeah, in
Like
what
to the
way?
max.
In what way?
Let's perfect example right now. There was when I was 13, 14, I had sickle cell anemia. So I was having like strokes back to back. And my body would go numb and I couldn't feel nothing. Like my mom put music in my ears, I remember exactly what album. It was Kanye West, Donda.
Yeah.
And I would start slowly but surely getting like the feeling back in my body.
Wow.
So I'm like, no, I promise you, I couldn't move as soon as she put those headphones in it was like Stranger Things. Like, like you ever seen Stranger Things, how Vecna would have them
Yeah.
and then they will come back slowly? It
Yep.
was just like that. It was scary. So I definitely, after that experience, music heals. I don't care what no one says. I've seen it happen. You know why? Because it was me. It healed me. Like, and then or anytime you're not feeling good, I see people that are depressed. They listen to some music, they feel 10 times better. Music really heals. Like, I really believe that heals.
What was it about that Kanye album that spoke to you?
It was just so, I don't, it, I think it was the chorus. Like, that's the one album where I listen to anything, I listen to everything and really analyze everything
Yeah.
because usually I'm always listening for the drums. That's the one album that I'm like, okay. these chords are nuts. And that was pre-music theory. Even I knew those chords are nuts, and I didn't even to this day, I don't ever say like, okay, that's a great. I can never listen to an album straight through. Besides that album and probably Chromacopia by Tyler the Creator. Those are like the two albums that I can listen to. I can listen to straight through because I don't listen to albums like straight through as much as I should. Or Solange,
Yeah.
but that album, I don't know what about it was. It was just godly, really. It's
Yeah.
really I can't describe it. It was just peak.
Yeah, I got to ask you, Tyler the Creator, what attracts you to his music? Because the little that I've heard of him, it does seem very abstract. Actually, now that I think about it, and you're drumming, that makes sense. Is it the lyrics? Is it the production? What appeals to you about Tyler's music?
Honestly, he's just a kid in LA that just grew. To me, well, I okay, little secret. I kind of like Tyler's kind of like somebody that I'm like known. Like we like kind of we know each other. Like if that makes sense.
Yeah,
But it's like through a lot of people, like we seen each other, but we don't. I don't have his number. But it's like okay, if he sees me, he's like, "Yo, what's up, bro?"
yeah,
So it's kind of like but his music is always like even after Chromacopia, that was one album, and I went to his tour like 4 times. 2 shows when I was in LA and 2 shows when I was in New York.
yeah,
Honestly, I would do it again. His music just relates to me, like the stuff he said, because he's the one person. He's like LA. He gets it. He just I don't know. He gets it. LA kid, everybody wants to act tough and this and that. He only had his mom in his life, so and then everybody wants to act tough. He was getting pressed, but he just wanted to make music when he was younger. He hangs out with his crew, and that's his crew. Everything he says in his songs, and then his production, bruh.
yeah.
The production is stupid. Like he's the closest thing to me to Kanye. To Kanye, and he's also another person I should have said down. Tyler the Creator. When you asked who are my top 3 favorite artists, Tyler is definitely up there. Like I have his albums, all types of stuff. I'm
Yeah.
a fan. I'm definitely a
My
fan.
from my observation, tell me if you think this is correct. His music is sonically cinematic. Like when I hear his music, I see, colors and visions, and it's almost like it transports you somewhere else. What do you think?
No, for sure. It definitely puts you. He makes it very theatrical. Even if you're like just doing something else, like you'll hear his songs and feel like you're in a movie. I promise. Especially when you go to his concerts
Yeah.
live, he's really an artist. Like, wow, dude, you really painted a picture within 3 minutes.
And I like his bravery and his confidence. Like he doesn't care what anybody thinks. He's going to be 1000% himself.
For sure. And that's what I like about him the most because he inspired me to be myself all the way.
Yeah.
Like he's a guy that never claimed he has like he's a rapper, but he's not a rapper, if that makes sense. Like a
Yeah.
lot of rappers these days, they like to, flex, this and that. He doesn't ever flex. And if he does, it's because he's in a rapper mentality, but like I don't know how to explain. He's just a really cool guy. I don't know. He's a really cool guy. I feel like I can relate to him. And I love an artist I can relate to genuinely. Like he speaks for kids like me, I feel
Yeah.
like him and I are the same person,
Yeah.
like an older version of me.
He's like an individual. I think you're saying that it's not stereotypical hip hop in any sense, musically or lyrically, right?
At all. It's a R&B melodic hip hop, which is I haven't seen someone perfect it in such a long time, and haven't seen someone do it in a way that isn't corny in so long. So for him to be able to do that in today's society and everybody's jacking it,
Yeah.
man, what? He honestly should have won the Grammys. But I'm happy that Kendrick Lamar won it.
Yeah.
But it should have been Tyler, honestly.
All right. I'll make
I
some
was.
calls. Let me see what I can do about that. What do you got coming up that you want to promote? Do you have any concerts? Do you have any projects coming out? Anything you want to put out there for people to know?
I just been working, man. I'm a full-time DJ, so if anybody ever needs a DJ,
Really?
producing, mixing, if you ever, anything
You,
like that,
you do live DJ events?
yes.
Cool. And do you guys have stuff coming up at school, right? Some performances. I love how you guys perform up on the roof. That's really fun.
Oh yes. We have the March Metal Music coming up at Champs. I'm not sure the time, but if you go on the site, you'll be able to see it. It's super dope. It's gonna be a lot of rock, heavy metal music. I think everybody can enjoy it. It's a grand time.
What
So,
what are some of the selections that you're playing?
System of a Down. We have Drowning Pool. We have Metallica, Pantera.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot. And then we have the musical coming up. It will be in the actual with the pit, a live pit orchestra
Yeah.
and live actors.
You're doing
We
Oliver,
finally have
right?
the music. Yes, sir.
Are
So if you guys
you
love
acting or playing drums? What are you going to be doing for that?
playing drums.
Man, I got to sit in for rehearsal with a choir the other day. They already sound really good.
Oh yeah, we just got our music, so it's all coming together right now. So I'm just super happy. It's super fun. So I can't wait. It's gonna be super good. It's gonna be great. Great way to end off my senior year.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. And I'm really lucky I'm going to be there for that. So if somebody wants to reach out to you to play drums live, to produce their music, to do live DJ stuff, what's the best way to get a hold of you? Maybe through Instagram?
Yes, definitely my Instagram.
What's your Instagram so everybody knows how to get a hold of you?
KEKOX Sticks. Kiko X Sticks. That is my Instagram for anybody that wants to reach out to me for business opportunities or just to chat. I'm a cool guy. I don't read,
All right, man. Well, this is a pleasure. I always look forward to seeing you every day I'm at school, and I would love to continue this another time. Would you be willing to come on the podcast again in the future?
Of course, man. Of course, man. Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Hello, my name is Jefferson De Leon, and I am a scientist in the biotech sector and a comedy musician, and I am a proud sponsor of the Creativity is the Cure podcast, because creativity is central to who I am and what I do. Check out my creations on my website, jeffersondeleone.com. That is JEFFERSONDELEONE.com.